That's the nice part about scheduling these bad boys ahead of time.
Yes.
So we can just jump right into it. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Weekly Narrative. I see you in chat talking smack about the fact that we were 5 minutes late. I love it.
Y'all.
Keep it up.
I mean,
Hold us accountable.
Yeah, hold us accountable. I mean, we usually do between like 7 and 7:15, but
I admit I was eating my dinner and I lost track a little bit.
yeah,
so.
he was eating his.
Just taking my sweet time.
He was enjoying his food, so he's got to get them gains.
Got to get those gains, ladies and gentlemen. Number one thing everybody should be doing right now is getting jacked.
Mm-hmm.
Jacked.
Get them arms pumping.
Welcome back to the number one alt-centrist live stream on the entire interwebs.
Nobody really knows what alt-centrists mean, but we're gonna take it.
We're turning it into a thing.
We're turning it into a thing.
We're
Welcome.
on YouTube, DLive, and Periscope.
Mm-hmm.
Pick your poison.
Pick your poison, or just pull up all three at the same time.
Game the numbers. I like it.
Everybody, open a tab for Periscope
Everybody
and
open
DLive.
20 windows.
Yep. And
on
listen
every
to,
one of our streams.
Yep, on every one of our streams, so that way we can get the viewership on everything.
There's easier ways to do that. You just pay some Chinese people and they'll give you 20 viewers.
Yeah,
no problem.
slave labor, all good.
Mm-hmm. We got a pretty nice lineup for you guys today on the topics. We're going to be talking about Jacob Blake.
Okay.
You may have heard some updates on that already.
Yeah, unfortunately.
We're going to talk about how Washington Post tried to get away with lying about him being unarmed.
Oh, well, they always lie, so...
Yeah, and we'll take another look at yet another lie for that. We're going to talk about, I had a quick follow-up from last week's item.
Okay.
So last week's item on the height and the success thing was a follow-up to the previous week's item.
Okay.
So this is becoming just a recurring thing where we're talking about gender and we're going to provide science for how, certain aspects of biology are related to politics.
Okay.
And this is a continuation of that, so we're going to touch a little bit on that.
Yep.
Because, we want to be multifaceted here, multi-topics, and we love science as
and
well.
While you guys wait, always hit the like button. Share this with your friends, subscribe, hit the bell, because it'll let you guys know when we're live and when we post stuff, so get us the views.
That's right.
Let's do it.
You heard the lady.
Yeah. And I know what's right, so... Let's do it.
We're going to talk about Cosmopolitan. They have a cover on their magazine. I'm not sure if you guys saw this or not, but it's an obese black woman with the title that says, "This is healthy."
Oh, okay.
We're going to be talking about that. That's going to be fun.
Okay.
And then we're going to talk about this new pandemic. Okay, so we all know about the COVID pandemic, but there's a new pandemic going around. I'm not sure if you are aware of this one yet, but I'm deeming it Nomaskphobia.
Oh, okay.
We could also go with like mascaria.
Mascaria.
Like diarrhea.
Yeah, I think mascaria sounds nice.
Or maybe you guys in chat can help us out. We got to come up with a trendy name for the Nomaskphobia, which is the phenomenon of people melting down or having panic attacks or assaulting people in public over them not wearing masks. And we're going to go over a handful of examples of that. It's going to be a great time. We got the elevator lady. You may have seen that one. We've got meltdown in a Maryland mall, and we have Ashley St. Clair captured a meltdown in a train.
Oh, okay.
Oddly enough, a Huffington Post contributor.
Oh, okay.
Was melting down and recording it as well. So,
lovely. That sounds the
coincidence.
A good message for the HuffPost.
A coincidence, I'm sure, that she just happens to work for Huffington Post.
But yeah, that's a great thing.
And then at the end of the show, we're gonna do something new. We're gonna do a video reaction to a documentary that I found.
Okay.
Called "Growing Up Poor in America."
Okay.
It's a PBS documentary, and it is 110% relevant. It's all about poor people in COVID, how they're reacting, and the role of the government in their lives, and the role of socio-political movements in their lives, and where they place the blame. We're going to study that, and maybe see if we can point out some of the things that we've been trying to say this entire time.
Okay.
Relating to all that stuff.
All right, folks. Well, grab your drinks and fill up the stands and give us a nice big old cheer. So I'm drinking a twisted tea, changing it up today, folks, because I saw the video of the guy getting decked in the face with a twisted tea, and it just made me have a craving. So
good marketing.
It worked on me. I don't even know if it was purposeful marketing.
I just added 2 moderators to the chat, so you guys get to do all the message moderation now.
Hell yeah.
MA and Stalking Horse.
Heck yeah. The
have
2
both
people that
been
show up
made.
the most consistently.
Yep. So you guys can uncensor everyone's messages as they come in because, frankly, I just don't have time for it anymore. Okay, there's a lot of messages that come in, and YouTube hates you guys. I love your messages, and I have to click show on all the chats, and it's just.
Well, let's
I gotta run a show.
Let's delegate and give that privilege to people who we feel
Delegation has been made.
Yep.
So you guys might need to refresh your page, but you should now have those privileges.
Yeah.
So
MA.
just don't ban everybody.
Yeah. MA and Stalking Horse, you're on the job.
All right, I see we got MA, Dari, Commander Osis, Steve, Vaughn.
Steve.
We got the full crew in here tonight. That's
Yep.
what I'm talking about,
See
baby.
who else we get in.
That's
This is
what I'm
going to
talking
be good.
All right.
Let's get started, folks.
Let's jump right into
This
it.
is how we do it.
Jacob Blake.
Huh.
The officer who shot Jacob Blake 7 times in the back is not going to be charged. They just came out and announced today. And although I wouldn't say it's too surprising for me personally, it is surprising to see some of how the media is kind of handling it. And one of the things that I noticed was the Washington Post, who, up until yesterday apparently, were unaware that Jacob Blake was armed with a knife during this confrontation. Washington Post being one of the
super credible,
big name journalism outlets that we look to for our information, who've also always pushed kind of the left-wing side of all these issues that we've seen. Everybody else who was paying attention to this event, it's kind of similar to the Covington Kids event, where people who did 2 seconds of research and they looked into the video, the full video, they could see that the kid was the one who was approached by the Indian guy.
Yeah.
In this case, I think it was like this day 2 after this happened, when Jacob Blake was shot, a video of a different angle came out, and you could clearly see the knife in the video in his hand.
I saw it. I just paused it and then zoomed in, and I was like, that looks like a knife.
Yep. So.
And then they had pictures of the knife, like, in the car as he was trying to open it, and the cop shot him. He dropped the knife in the car. So he had a knife on him, folks. Like,
literally 2 hours ago, because it takes Washington Post that long to ignore the truth. They say on their official tweet, Twitter, whatever they call it, we've deleted a previous tweet that incorrectly described Jacob Blake as unarmed. While his family has said he was not armed when shot by the police, prosecutors on Tuesday said video evidence depicts him holding a knife. The story has been corrected.
Yeah, totally. Like, just, what is it, 4 months too late?
Yeah, so they lie long enough for the riots to start, and then they correct it after the fact. We all know that they knew he had a knife. And what was their excuse? Listen how pathetic this is.
The family said
The family said he wasn't armed.
The family said that he wasn't a woman beater either, but...
Wait, hold on. Delaney, did you go to journalism school for 4 years?
No,
or 6 years or 8 years?
No, I didn't.
Okay, so let me ask you from a layman's perspective.
Okay.
When you're investigating a story and the subject of your story, their family, do you think that family is likely to be biased in favor of the subject or against the subject?
Hold on, it looks like the video's frozen.
I think it's working.
It is?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Refresh, Dari.
There was somebody in the chat that said the video froze.
I think it's good.
Okay, my bad. Sorry.
Is the family of the subject going to be biased for him or against him?
Oh, for him.
So if they make a claim that he's unarmed, he wouldn't have a knife, would you just take that and run with it and be like, oh, the family said he's unarmed, let's just write it in the article?
I mean, if you're a really crappy journalist that doesn't care...
No. Would you...
Oh.
With no journalism
no, absolutely not. I would not take his
anything,
family's word for it.
You would at least put one photon of energy into
like
trying...
finding the truth.
And they did not do that. So,
yeah.
This is yet another example of the Washington Post being an absolute trash pile.
They are a total trash pile. They are a big pile of dump for sure. Just like burning dump. They're just like trying to hold on to any vestige of journalism, actual journalism.
Dumpster fire. What's up, Robert? Welcome, buddy. Robert says they also neglect to say that police were trying to arrest him for several minutes, and he was literally trying to get into a car to flee from them. That's correct.
Yes, he was.
And the police stated that one of the reasons they felt compelled to shoot him was because they thought he was going to kidnap the child that was in the car.
Yeah.
Drive off with that. So not only did he have a knife, but they thought he was going to drive off and kidnap the child that was in the car.
Didn't he like? Wasn't he fighting with like his baby mom on the front lawn too? Anyways, so it's like, it was just a really bad situation that just got way worse.
They probably should have and could have charged Jacob Blake, but they also chose not to charge him with anything. And all the leftists obviously are using that as like, oh, well, they think that this is enough that they're not going to charge Jacob Blake, but they shot him 7 times, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, no, it's unsurprising to anyone who's paying attention.
Yeah.
Jeremy, you're assuming they care about truth. Journalists are activists now. That's correct.
That is correct. Yeah, you're right, M.A. They are total activists.
It's, well, you know, I guess the people are just asleep. Anyone who actually consumes Washington Post is just asleep. You know, they just want to be heard. They just want to be told what they want to hear.
Yeah, they don't want to actually find the truth for themselves. They just want to be told the truth, quote unquote.
It's also this piggybacks directly off of another video I saw today of a CNN journalist, asking, did you guys see this video? Ron DeSantis was doing a press conference, and some CNN journalist asked him, Ron DeSantis being the governor of Florida, a journalist from CNN asked, why did elderly people have to wait outside a hospital, and why weren't they given vaccines? And he was like, did you ask? Did you look into it at all for 1 second? Did you even try to find the answer? Did you investigate?
Did you ask a single question?
Because if you did, you would know that we gave out the vaccines on a first come, first served basis. And then she was trying to cover up for her stupidity and lack of effort by saying, well, shouldn't the state try to allocate the resources better? And he's like, state doesn't allocate the vaccinations. The hospitals allocate the vaccinations.
If you want the vaccine, come and get it.
If she did 2 nanoseconds of research, she would have known the answer to both of those. But we all know, just like Emma said in chat, that these aren't journalists anymore.
No, they're activists.
They're activists. They're trying to get their
agenda.
They're trying to get that viral moment of like, I'm gonna dunk on DeSantis on his press conference.
Well, it's just like it was like, I think it was like last year there was like or was it during like the beginning of the coronavirus briefings? One of the Asian journalists tried to like dunk on Trump and be like, "Why do you call it the Chinese virus? Isn't that racist?" And Trump's like, "Because it comes from China."
Oh yeah, no.
Yeah, it's just like, are you that stupid? Like, I'm not.
It was something else where she was offended that he answered that way to her specifically.
Oh.
Because she was Chinese. Or
whatever. Yeah, she's Asian, and she's like, isn't that offensive? And he's just like, well, it comes from China. Like, no, they don't have an ounce of thought in their head, and they really are just, they see the cameras. And they just want to get that viral moment and like try to get that viral dunk on somebody, and it's not working. Like, we see right through it.
That's why I got to give props to everyone who watches this stream, all of you guys, because you guys know that, you know, if you watch me, you know I'm not just going to tell you what you want to hear.
No, he doesn't.
You know, as an alt-centrist, I'm trying to be the objective observer, and that takes effort, it takes skill to be able to consume knowledge and watch somebody that you disagree with. And that's exactly what you don't see on the left. When you look at these leftist streamers like Vosh, Destiny, any of these other retards, every single time, it's always, you know, I don't even have to know. I know exactly what they're going to say about the Jacob Blake thing. I know exactly what they would say about Kyle Rittenhouse. Yeah. I don't even need to watch the stream.
Kyle Rittenhouse isn't defending himself.
The monolith that they follow is so solid. They can't even fathom
straying from
presenting an opinion that strays from that, because then they would know they would go to the viewers.
They're such sheep.
David Pakman actually admitted out loud that he said he cannot talk about certain topics on his stream because his viewers get upset. That's not this kind of stream, guys.
No.
This stream, you will hear some stuff that might make you upset.
Oh yeah, I know. I probably said.
And you're gonna stick around because you're not little babies.
I know I've said some things on the stream that a lot of your viewers are like, what the hell is wrong with her? But I don't give a shit. Like, we're here to say it. Like, and most of the time I'm just joking anyways. So
that is, I mean, you're like herding sheep at that point. You're just like, I don't understand. You don't interact with the audience because you already know exactly what they're going to say. You know exactly what not to say. It's so boring. So thank you guys for hanging in there.
And May says, I love that you guys adopted alt-centrist. Well, yeah, like, you don't see many alt-centrist channels, so we're gonna appropriate that and just make it our bitch. So
appropriate.
Yeah, because
Like
we're all about in America. We're all about appropriating everything. So
colonizing it.
colonizing it and just totally like just wringing it out for as much as we can possibly get out of it. So let's do it.
I know, Stalking Horse. I won't be late anymore.
Sorry, stalking horse.
I think my keyboard batteries are dying, so we'll see if I can power through this here. I have a quick update for you guys. I like touching on gender because it really underlies everything that we're talking about with
Okay.
politics.
Hell yeah,
And
it does.
I stumbled across a study from 2016 that demonstrates something that we talked about last week, because we were talking about success and tall people and how tall people don't want to redistribute their wealth.
Oh yeah, of course not.
And they didn't really talk about why in the study, but we kind of extrapolated and talked about how the fact that tall means you're evolutionarily successful.
You got that good gene.
Tall is desirable.
It is tall and fit and nice hair, nice teeth, nice skin.
And let me pull this up here. So this is a follow-up to that, just to kind of solidify the idea that we're talking about. Let me drag this over to the right window.
Sorry, folks.
This is a height versus income trade-off in desirability based off of data from dating apps. So this study is online dating. It's called online dating from the University of Chicago.
Okay.
So what you're looking at here is a table, and this isn't going to take long to explain, but I just had to show you this, guys, because it's hard data.
This is hard data.
Hard.
Super hard.
Height income trade-offs. So what you're looking at here is a table that shows the annual income that a man or woman needs to be as successful as a 5'11.5" man, tall man, or a 5 foot 5.5 inch tall woman, which are the medians. So the median for a man height is 5'11.5". The baseline income for a man is $62,500. So in this chart, what you see is the heights going down, and then the number in the second column is the additional income needed by men to meet the median attraction rate.
Oh, okay.
So, for example,
If you're short, you have to make more money, essentially.
if you're short, if you're 5'0", you have to make $317,000 more per year to be considered equally attractive as a 5'11.5" man that makes $62,000.
Yeah.
And if you're 6'2" or 6'3" like me, you
don't even have to.
I can make about 45,000 less. I can only make 20,000 a year.
Yeah. And you
and
would
still be considered as attractive. Or, you can use the word attractive as biologically successful. Just interchangeably, right? So I could be as successful as a 5'11.5" man if I make 20,000 a year.
Yeah.
Just because of my height.
Yeah.
That's how powerful
Attraction.
the biological markers are.
It is.
Which again is why you don't see any genetically fantastic specimens in these Antifa crowds. They're all mutants.
Not usually. And if they are, I look at them and I just go, why are you here? You're like way.
There's a couple random outliers every once in a while.
I'm like, what are you doing here? Like, you should be on the conservative side.
If you're 6'10", you could literally be broke.
Yeah, you can literally just make no money. You just be a circus freak, and
According to this.
you could be a circus freak, and it'll be okay.
The height overrides.
Somebody will find you like amazing.
The height overrides all of your monetary failures. So this is mate preferences and matching outcomes in online dating. So
Robert says this is why Tom Cruise, who's 5'5", works so hard to make money. Yep, that's why. Also, too, he's a Scientologist, and nobody wants to mess around with a Scientologist.
So I'm probably as attractive as Tom Cruise.
I think you're more attractive than Tom Cruise.
Overall.
I think overall.
When you consider height.
I think, well, as I say, as a woman, and I'm a tall girl.
Height supremacist, yes, Derek.
I'm a tall girl. I'm 5'10", so I'm tall for a female. So for me, if I'm going to be attracted to a man, I want a guy that's taller than me. I don't want to be dating a dude if I'm dating dudes, which I'm not.
No, it'd be tough for you to find someone taller than you.
Yeah, exactly. I need to find dudes that are like over 6 foot, and none of them like tickle my fancy like that. So, and that's how most girls are. Like, that's just like our biological nature is like want to be with a man. If we want to be with a man, is to be with a man that's taller than you and like takes care of themselves.
Well, it's not specifically that they're taller than you. It's just that taller is a marker of good genetics.
Yeah, it's true.
It
Well,
all ties in.
Well, and also too for you, you've got like good hair, nice eyes, nice teeth, good skin.
Stop flattering
that's
me.
always that's all, and you also work out and eat right. So you and very disciplined. So you just tick all the boxes for girls. But I understand like why. Yeah,
I never knew that my height gave me such an advantage.
it really does, dude. Like that's why when I first met you, when I first met you, I was like, wow, you're really tall.
Yeah.
Because in your videos, you don't realize how tall
Can't
you
tell
are.
how tall I
You
am from
can't
the
tell
videos.
how tall you are. And then I met you in person. I was like, wow, you're like, how tall are you, dude? Because you're taller than me. And most dudes aren't taller than me. This is rare. You were like, oh, I'm 6'3". And I was like, hell yeah. I'm used to tall men. My brother's 6'4". I have my stepbrother's 6'6". Like all of my family members are usually like over 6 foot, the men at least. So
Yeah, that's where you got your genetics from.
that's where I get the tall gene from. Like tall and skinny's genetics.
So there you go, folks. See, we want to make sure everything we say and try to claim here, when we make a claim that the Antifa, why all the Antifa look like mutants and the conservatives tend to look more attractive, we want to make sure that we back that up with science whenever we can. So
Steve says Peter Dinklage is killing it. I mean, he's a little person.
he's
so
got enough money to make up
he's
for
got
it.
enough money, and he's also the freaking imp from Game of Thrones. So he's gonna be forever immortalized. He's gonna get enough punani as he wants, really.
So what the leftists know this. They understand this at a base level. They don't ever want to talk about it, and they don't want to bring it out loud. They don't want to say it out loud, though. So what do? What have we been seeing in the last, 10 years as far as their political movements and the ideas that they try to pass that all go directly against biology?
Yeah, they just want to make ugly beautiful and make fat fabulous and just change everybody's mindset about everything.
Funny you say that, because Cosmopolitan, who is a pretty notorious, widespread, large
Oh yeah, I mean all the girls
women's
know.
magazine.
All the girls have read Cosmo.
This is their new cover.
Oh God. Woo. Okay.
Take a good look at that one right there, guys. Okay.
Oh, she's got the tiger stripes and everything. Ugh. I mean, I've got little tiger stripes, but not noticeable tiger stripes on like my chest and my arms and stuff. Like,
Zoom isn't working. But so what you see on the screen, if you're listening to the audio version of this, is a morbidly obese woman doing yoga. Very
in skin tight yoga pants.
Skin tight clothing, unfortunately.
And she's got like tattoos on her arms, and
she's smiling.
she's happy. Like she looks
Hands up in the
happy.
air. Yeah, she looks happy. So
I mean, that's great. Happy.
They're trying to portray the idea that fat is healthy.
Oh yeah.
Ignore everything that you know about biology, everything that's innately programmed into your mind as far as what you find attractive, what is a healthy marker. Ignore and destroy all of that. Take all that out, and then just read the headline underneath.
This is healthy.
This is healthy.
Well, I think Derek in the chat says it best. At least she's doing yoga. I think that's what they're talking about when they're saying this is healthy. They're meaning like, even though you're fat, you're still doing yoga. I mean, yeah, that's great. She's doing yoga, but that's not what I want to advertise as like, this is a healthy example of like healthiness.
Yes, there's 2 comments in chat that I want to point out.
Okay.
Dirk says that Dutton's spiteful mutant theory holds true. I got the idea of the mutants, and I started calling them mutants because of a guy named Edward Dutton.
Okay.
Who is an author who talks he knows a lot about genetics, intelligence, and things like that. I definitely recommend checking him out. He does hilarious live streams on YouTube. He makes learning about intelligence and stuff like that kind of fun. But he is the one that coined the term I think it was him and one other of his colleagues coined the term spiteful mutants, because the biological deformities and mutations, like I said, they coincide.
It makes them mad at people who don't.
They coincide with mental illnesses,
Yeah.
and that leads them to believe in maladapted social ideologies, like communism and socialism. It's all just a big pipeline.
If I was a freaking spiteful ass mutant, of course I would want communism. I would want all of the rich folk to be on the same level as me.
You're never gonna be jacked and 6'3" like me.
Yeah, I'm never gonna be jacked and 6'3" like you. So I might as well just, instead of just accepting that and
tear everybody else down.
Tear everybody else. Yeah, just tear everybody else down and bring it down to your level.
And then Robert says, Google images for Rachel Maddow before and after. That's another great point.
Ooh,
because what happens,
not good looking before and after.
It goes exactly like this. Well, she's a lot better looking before, but you can look at Antifa before and after, or like socialist before and afters.
Oh
They take women who look,
Like
normal,
me.
normal like you before you cut your hair short, with the longer hair.
Yeah.
And then they get fat. They put a bunch of metal in their face. They get tattoos. They color the hair.
Oh, yeah.
They shave their heads. They completely take a dump all over any kind of fashion.
Yep.
They wear like the worst clothing imaginable.
They wear clothes that are put together with duct tape.
Yeah. No, because they're signaling their compliance with this narrative. This is healthy.
Yeah.
Mutation is healthy.
Yeah.
And traditional beauty standards are colonialist, imperialist, white supremacist, and every other ism out there.
I mean,
Ableism.
yeah, I agree for the most part, but I just, I don't agree with them. I agree with you that that's all stupid. Like, it's all just spiteful. Like, it's all just hate. The reason they're doing this is just to make themselves feel better that they don't belong with folk that look like us.
Like I said, they know deep down
they don't belong.
that taller is more attractive, that skinnier is more attractive, and they're fighting against that.
Oh yeah, by
in
releasing
a very
this garbage,
in an intentional manner.
By releasing images like this of a woman with her gut just doing yoga.
Disgusting.
Yum.
And you know what? It's 11 women on why wellness doesn't have to be one size fits all. Yeah, we've been hearing that for like 8 years.
Right.
So here's another angle that I wanted to take on this. This is the original angle that I brought this article into this for. We're in the middle of a pandemic right now. A pandemic that really only kills
obese people,
fat people, and old people.
Fat
Outside of old
and
people,
old, yeah.
Unless you're over 70, the only people this kills is fat people. Every single post we've seen on Twitter and every other social media page, oh, look at this black woman died because she was mistreated. No, she was obese.
She had like diabetes and heart disease.
She had 18 underlying conditions
and
because she looked like this.
And
she looked like that.
Yep. And then on top of that, she had a foul attitude, so nobody at the hospital wanted to deal with her. Just saying, like.
Probably true in most cases.
Probably true, and not all, but most. And that's why they're dying of COVID. But now they want to just have fat acceptance, and it's like, no, it's not because of their fatness that they die, or because of COVID, or it's not because of their fatness, it's because of COVID. Like, no.
COVID and racism. So again,
COVID and racism.
Is this not
double bogey?
We talked about this before. The fungus that infects the ants and mind controls them into death. Tell me this isn't the exact same thing for humans. We're literally in the middle of a pandemic. Do you guys understand the implications of this?
Yeah.
This is a mind virus.
It is a mind virus.
It's telling you it's healthy to be obese in the middle of a pandemic that only kills obese people. Meanwhile, everyone's crying and wailing and gnashing their teeth over people not wearing masks.
Oh, yeah.
While encouraging people to be obese like that.
Yeah.
Jesus. The mind control is really, really working well.
It really is. I see it more and more.
She's $3 bills easy.
I wouldn't doubt it. At least close to $3 bills. Like.
Now they're attempting to push a new strain of the virus to keep the fear factor up. Yes. And we're going to take a look at what that fear is doing to people in
oh my God.
the later half of the stream.
Arian, can you show his comment? Says, what the F, you chatting plump women in the old days had rich daddies or husbands to pay for all the food they stuffing in their mouths. It was wealth, not beauty. Well, yeah, but nowadays the more wealthy people actually go out and exercise and take care of themselves, or they just get plastic surgery.
So I just thought that was absolutely mind blowing, and I don't understand. You can add that to the list of things we talked about last week with the questions that I have that are unanswered.
Oh,
That's another question. How could you possibly be encouraging obesity in the middle of a pandemic that only kills fatties?
Primarily kills a lot of fatties.
But you know what? At the end of the day, it's natural selection.
A little bit.
So,
I mean, we've talked about the natural selection too.
Can only lead the horse to water.
Yeah,
Can't make him take a bath.
Can only beat him a couple times before you're like, is it really worth lifting my hand that many times? To just keep hitting him with the same thing over and over again.
So let's take a deep dive into what this fear is doing to people and what it's turning them into.
Yeah, we still have to come up with a good name for the coronavirus or the
Yeah, guys,
the mask.
we need to come up with a disease name for the phobia of masks, of
Yeah,
no masks.
the no mask, no maskers,
The Nomaskphobia.
the no mask crazy folk.
All right, Gateway Pundit.
Yeah, totally credible.
Video of the day. Young woman loses it in elevator over slipped masked.
Oh no!
Oh, you didn't see this?
I haven't seen this, so
Oh,
this is a
man.
live
Okay,
reaction, folks.
So let's pump. First of all, let's pump up the fear by looking at some statistics here. National depression rates.
True international depression.
True international depression. Maybe that's what this was. Finally, we understand what he was talking
I
about.
think I know what he's talking about.
We got some true international depression here from Joe Biden. Okay, so the study, 8.5% of people were depressed pre-lockdown. 27.8 were depressed post-lockdown.
Hell yeah!
And
If you weren't depressed before the lockdown, you're gonna be extra depressed during the lockdown.
if you just consume social media all day and CNN and MSNBC, this
is how you react.
is what you turn into.
Okay.
And we got the audio up, so the audio should come in through in the stream too.
You are a delivery person incorrectly wearing the mask inside of the big building.
Is this incorrectly worn, guys? Is this incorrectly worn?
It wasn't like that the whole fucking time.
Oh my god! Is this girl on drugs?
Nope, that's the social media. That's what social media does to your brain.
I love how on the bottom of the post it says Kieran has a meltdown, and she spelled Karen wrong. She
Kieran.
spelled it K-I-R-N.
I don't know.
R-E-N.
I don't know if she's trying to go for Karen on that, but she's literally
totally going for
okay.
Karen.
So here's the premise: the one chick with the phone recording walks into the elevator. Her mask is not covering her nose. I'm presuming because that's the part's not in the video. Then the blonde chick is having like a full-on panic attack meltdown in the elevator, saying that your mask wasn't on the right way. She punches the side of the window.
I know,
as she's crying. She's hysterical. And then the chick who's recording is just like, oh,
Is this the wrong way?
Is this the wrong way to wear a
Is
mask?
this the wrong way to wear the mask? And she was wearing it over her mouth and her nose.
You are a delivery
Yeah, let's look at it
person
again.
incorrectly wearing the mask inside of the big building.
She's crying too.
Is this incorrectly worn?
Nope, not
It
where.
wasn't like that the whole fucking time.
So dramatic. It's like she thinks she has her own reality TV show.
Does that seem healthy?
No.
This is your brain on social media,
This
folks.
is your brain on just social media and COVID propaganda.
No, you sit at home and you watch MSNBC and CNN all day, and you're like, death surge. You just see titles. I remember laughing my ass off in like June or something like that, where they were talking about the numbers going up in New York, and I saw Chiron that said death surge. And I was just like, oh my god, we truly are in the information dystopia. Death surge.
Yeah.
When you see that every day,
Little
this
bit.
is what you turn into.
I know, for real. Like, this poor girl. Like, I really hope she finds Jesus. I swear. Like,
This is exactly what they want you to be.
yeah, a little bit. This is, wow.
Because that person obviously now is a full-on acolyte of the mask cult. So let's see if anybody has a good name. Okay, we got mask maniacs. What's up, Dave? That's a good suggestion. Normophobia. Interesting.
You're normophobic.
I like the implications of that because you're implying that they're afraid of normalcy. I like that.
A little bit. I like that a little. Like, that's kind of scientific.
Derek says, I've been yelled at for both wearing a mask and not wearing a mask. Hey, same here, actually, I think. Let's see.
Well, nowadays I see a lot of conservative people. They're standing outside of grocery stores and protesting people to like get them to not wear masks in the grocery stores. So that's how far we've gone.
Oh, yeah. Did you see the video of that lesbian-looking chick doing the rant in the grocery store? She's like, I'm not wearing a mask. They just said that asymptomatic spread
Oh yeah,
isn't
yeah,
a thing.
yeah. I saw her.
Then maybe the tide's starting to turn.
A little bit.
Maybe
Like,
the tide's starting to turn.
I don't wear a mask to like.
Masquerade. Oh, that's a good one.
I don't wear a mask to my
Nice double
local corner
entendre.
store because they know me. My dad sells them candy and cigarettes, so
Free
they
the
don't.
lips.
They're like, come on in. We don't care. You're coming in to buy a mask, right? I'm like,
Yeah.
yep, I am totally.
Someone should tell Karen that her cloth mask has little to no ability to protect her or anyone else from bacteria and viruses. If you can smell, your mask does not work. Well, that's that is 1
Rob,
nanometer.
that makes too much sense.
That's 1 nanometer below surface level, and that's way too deep of an analysis for these types of people. That's
Robert, we appreciate it because that makes entirely too much sense.
Yeah.
That's exactly what my dad says about me. He's like, you just make too much sense, and that's why it makes people angry. And I'm like, oh, well, I'd rather be known for making too much sense than being a total sheep.
That was a fun one. Let's move on to our next one. This is a meltdown from a mall in Maryland, and let me know how the audio levels are on this, guys. This is from WBAL TV 11 Baltimore.
WBLA.
Heated argument over face masks at the mall. Let's see.
He said before he pressed the record button on his phone, he saw when the woman was refusing to put on her mask, even while a worker was asking her multiple times.
Imagine being this reporter.
But you're not asking my permission to record me, so you need to take that off of your phone.
In this case, it's the person who has the phone recording the video is the maskphobia, the Nomaskphobia, or the normal phobe.
Oh, okay. So the person recording is wearing a mask.
The person recording is trying to enforce mask compliance.
Oh, okay.
The person being recorded does not want to wear a mask.
Stay away from me. 6 feet at least.
Oh, gay dude.
Stay away from me 6 feet at least.
Those were the moments that followed after Ronald Harper began recording the woman while an employee could be heard asking the woman to leave. This happened on New Year's Day at the H&M store here at Arundel Mills. Now, before the woman was forced to leave the store by an employee, things became heated between the two customers. Harper,
Listen to what he says.
The woman spoke only to 11 News about why he felt he had to do something.
Do you own H&M?
Where does it say that I need to wear my mask?
Right here, everywhere around. It says it on the
Is there a
speakers.
law that says I
The
need to
state
wear
of
a
Maryland
mask?
requires you to wear a
It
mask.
does
What is
not.
wrong with
It
you?
did not go through
You don't care
legislation.
about people? You want people to die?
Well, she's not
People
wrong
are
about
Did you hear
that.
it? Did you hear it? Did you hear it?
Do you want people to die?
You don't care about people.
don't care about
Do you
people?
want people to die?
Yep.
That's it. Let's
That's-
do an instant replay on that one, folks.
You don't care about people? You want people to die? People are dying of COVID. Earlier in the year, I found out that I'm a new
Oh, and
diabetic.
what a shocker. It's a gay black
I was
man.
gonna say a gay black dude, of course.
And that on top of knowing that all of my family has diabetes and
Oh, wow.
Oh, shocker! Your family has diabetes. Well, if your family has diabetes, then don't let them go out into the open.
I actually didn't hear that part of the video. I stopped watching before that. That is hilariously coincidental. Of course, your entire family is obese.
I've been like struggling.
But again, it's the racism that kills them, not the obesity.
Yeah,
my
it's
own
the
health and my
racism.
family's health, and my grandfather just recently found out that he has COVID, and my uncle has COVID, and my mom's calling me telling me she's losing her sense of smell.
Yeah, and guess what? That mask over your face isn't gonna help. Like they're gonna get COVID because they're probably old and have diabetes.
Well, you remember we talked about the moral anchors? That's how they get you on this kind of stuff. Because he had no rational way to try and tell her why or how to wear the mask.
It's just, you want people to die?
Outside of, do you want to kill people?
You want people to die?
That's the depth of their analysis of the whole entire mask situation. Because they hear Trump is killing people. We all know Trump killed 300,000 people with his bare hands by not wearing the mask.
Oh, Matt Livingston in the chat just says, I'm skipping Tim Pool for you guys because you're way better.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah, that's a compliment
That's what I
right
like to hear.
there.
We are
That's what we like to hear.
Slowly stealing the viewers from Tim.
We love Tim ourselves. Like, he's great. He's, one of the greats. But we appreciate y'all for joining us.
Why is this guy in an H&M? What's wrong with this guy?
Well, they do
What's
have
up,
a nice
Anthony?
selection of men's clothes at H&M, I will say, because I do go to the men's section to buy clothes there.
So, okay, well, we already all know this, but when you go out into public, you're accepting the risk.
Yes, of
But
course.
the moral superiority that this guy feels to be able to walk up to this person. If he walked up to me and said that, I'd be like, who the frick are you?
Right?
What are you, the cops?
Yeah, are you a police officer?
Do I know you?
That's why she was trying to ask him, like, what law was passed that makes it to where I have to wear a mask in public.
Yeah, no, it's totally legit that the businesses can throw her out, but
Yeah, the
it
business
didn't seem like the business was involved. It was just him being
Yeah, it was just
an
him.
annoying bastard.
Yeah, well, it's just, I saw
You need to put the mask on.
I saw a video the other day of a lady who refused to wear a mask in Michael's, I believe. I think down down in like
a lot of leftists up in Michael's making
I believe it was
baskets.
I believe it was in San Diego.
underwear
and
basket weaving.
like the employees were harassing her, trying to get her to wear a mask, and she's like, I don't want to, and then this freaking random dude walks by and he like joins in on the harassment too. And she like starts calling the random dude out. She's like, what the hell are you doing here? She's like, what kind of man are you sitting here letting a woman get like harassed like this? She's like, how old are you? I was just like on her side the whole time. I was like, yes, get him, because
Some moral superiority.
and it was like a young guy, like probably like my age, like maybe a little bit younger, because I'm 28. And he's like harassing this woman too. He's joining in on the harassment with the employees. He's like, oh, come on, man, just follow the rules, just do it. And she's just it's
Comply,
like, no,
just comply, dude.
come on, just comply. It's for the greater good. No, it's not. Like, what about my personal freedom? Like, what? That's no. I guess no.
I don't care about that.
We're just gonna brush that off.
Yeah, see what I told you, MA. It's hard. There's so many comments that get censored. That's why I got to make you guys moderators.
That's why we made you guys moderators, to help us out. Delegating.
Oh, what's up, CT? CT says, my company gives out masks. If you refuse, we kick you out.
Wow.
Not because we care, but because if you refuse, you're an annoying asshole. Yeah, that's the problem. Because a lot of people who do refuse the masks can be pretty annoying.
Well, I'm one of the people that refuses the mask, but I'm not annoying. I don't.
If somebody catches you wearing the mask, it's I don't think the businesses want to have to do that.
No, they don't.
But if the state sees them allowing people to not wear masks in the business, then they'll get punishment from the state.
And this is what I've asked people who own businesses in California who are still open, like people I know personally. I'm like, who comes in and dictates these like procedures? They're like, it's the health code usually. If it's like a restaurant or a bar or whatever.
And this is actually, this brings up a really good point about the decentralization argument that we try to make here on the show. The underlying theme of the show, which is decentralization. The local governments are actually the ones that affect that the most, because there are gyms. The local sheriff in Sacramento has explicitly said he's not going to enforce any kind of mask garbage.
He doesn't care. He doesn't want to.
And as a result of that, we've been able to have some gyms have been remained open, even though the health people will hound them.
Yeah, they'll hound them and send them all kinds of violations. But they'll just pay them.
Contrast that with L.A. or San Francisco, where the sheriffs they have COVID task force.
Oh, I know.
That go out and bust up parties on New Year's Eve. So it is very local. We're all in the same state, but you can see how the different cities are treated vastly differently. And like I said, it's all.
There are a lot of, and then
that's when your local government actually matters.
And I know there are a lot of people here locally who wish that our local sheriffs and our local police would do more about COVID, and probably they wish that we here in Sacramento had a COVID task force. Like, no, I don't want a COVID task force. Like, no, I want businesses to be open. I want to go sing karaoke. I haven't been able to sing karaoke in months, and this is just not okay. This is not okay, folks.
I think we're approaching it the wrong way. I think we need to get N95 masks, goggles, and rubber gloves, and then go to the market and require management to everyone to wear proper equipment, like full hazmat suits.
Oh, so we like just show up in bubbles, and then we tell the businesses that they have to provide bubbles for everybody? I mean, that's a great way to like show the hypocrisy.
That's another
hypocrisy.
Exactly. It's another indication that we're half-assing this whole thing in terms of the protective measures.
Oh, I know.
We're like, oh yeah, you can go out in public, just wear a bandana.
Bandanas aren't good enough anymore.
Wait, so can I go out in public or not? Yeah, well, yeah, you can go out, but don't care about touching stuff. Don't care about washing hands. Just wear the cloth mask. It's like, oh, it's not going to do anything. But
yeah, what is this going to do? It's not going to protect really anything or anyone.
Oh, Robert's got a counter argument for me. He says businesses are not worried about the state. They're worried about videos like the ones you are watching and the blowback from the corp offices.
Yes. Unless
Perfect segue into the next one. Because now we're going to go to... Or did you have something to say?
No.
Now we're going to go into a video from Ashley St. Clair. You guys might follow her on Twitter. I think she's kind of a conservative-leaning libertarian chick. She was on a train somewhere, going somewhere, I guess, and she captured a video of an older lady who was harassing two guys for eating or drinking coffee on the train without masks on. So let's jump into this video here. Swap over to
the browser.
So Ashley St. Clair at St. Clair Ashley, if you guys want to look this video up on your own.
She's pretty hot.
So
too,
just
saying.
Is she?
I think so.
So just she describes the situation here. She says these mask fanatic women from hell started filming and harassing these men for drinking coffee on the train. The older one said, I have 70,000 Twitter followers. Like the men should be scared. People have lost their damn minds. Let's go jump into the video.
Okay.
Right off the gate on the video. So what we see in the video is, you can't see the woman, but the first line in the video, which is exactly what Robert said, and it's exactly what we said last week, is that these people utilize social media as a cudgel, a weapon, to spread these attacks online. Her first line, it says, I have 70,000 Twitter followers. And then the guy says, wow.
I have 70,000 Twitter followers. You have 70,000 Twitter followers? Well, they're not... That means nothing. You're still being very rude. These men are just drinking coffee. They're allowed to have a mask off when they're drinking.
She's got the full face shield and everything on.
Oh, God.
Take note.
She's probably, like, hypoglycemic or some kind of bullcrap.
You know what's safer than a mask? Social distancing. That's more effective than the mask. So why don't you step back and leave them alone?
You're not involved.
Yes, I am, because you're causing a scene on this train.
With his mask off. Please, excuse me. Please, can you help us?
Please, can you help us? Okay, so this is another thing. This is another thing that the leftists will always do. They will always complain or cry to the closest authority figure possible.
Oh, yeah.
It's whether it's police, even though they disagree with police, they'll call police on a whim.
Yeah, they want to defund the police, but they'll call 911
anytime.
for no reason.
They'll complain to teachers. They'll complain to professors. They'll complain to, in this case, to the train conductor, or which is who they call over. They're screaming, "Please help us!"
Okay, just go to your seat.
They got on here and started.
Okay, would you like me to call the police?
Conductor to thing 1 and thing 2.
Would you like me to call the police?
She says she's got 70.
Would you
Call the
like me
police
to
for
call the
what?
police?
I would
If you don't want any police, everybody needs to go back to their seat.
She said, I got 70.
Thank God this
Go back to your
conductor's
seat.
being a
If
level-headed
not, I
one.
will call the police and let the police handle it.
Okay.
So there you go.
So that could have been entirely avoided if that old biddy and the two old biddies would have just left them the hell alone.
No, again, the moral superiority that they feel. They have the authority to attack him and enforce the law.
If they would have just
The
left,
mask law.
if they would have just left them the hell alone, nothing, that whole thing wouldn't have happened. So, and of course, the Karen is a freaking just, ugh, God, look at that hairdo.
The attack continues. So what happens after that confrontation is that the hair lady with the mask and the shield goes back to her seat, and she finds out who Ashley St. Clair is. She looks her up on Twitter.
Oh, okay.
And then she goes to attack her specifically.
Okay, well, go for it, Grandma.
And listen to the language that she uses.
Okay.
Let me turn it up here.
Is that you?
You fucking doxing bitch. You Nazi bitch. You doxed me. What'd you
I did
do
not
that for?
dox you.
Yes, you did, sweetheart.
No, I didn't. I posted a video of you.
Huh?
I posted a video of you on a public train.
On Instagram.
I don't even know who you are.
Well, everybody knows now, all your little Nazi friends. Your little conservative friends.
This is not a good look,
lowlife.
honey.
You are a lowlife.
Oh.
Can someone get the conductor?
Yeah,
Alright,
Ashley's the low life here.
Why?
Not you.
She's going around harassing everybody.
Yeah.
She's
Ashley, who was defending people, is the loser. Not you, crazy freaking redheaded, like cheap redhead with a crazy freaking haircut.
She doesn't recognize that as any kind of, ethical higher ground, but what she is doing, that she would say in her own terms, that she's breaking the standard of social distancing. Look, she walks right up to her.
Yeah.
She's right next to her seat.
Yeah, she
That's
does.
like 2 feet. And they're the same people who say 6 feet social distancing.
You
you're
posted a
harassing
video
me.
of me.
Yes,
You're
we're
harassing
on a-
me. You
I
put
didn't-
me up on. You put me up on the internet.
You put me up on the internet.
Lady, you put yourself up on the internet by acting like this.
Get the fuck away from me.
And then she just throws a tantrum and Alec Baldwin look-alike.
Get the fuck
Yeah,
away.
so there you go, guys. Class 8 mental Nomaskphobia.
Yep. Masked Karen has 70 million followers for what? Steve, I don't think that's true. I think Masked Karen probably doesn't even have 70 followers. She probably doesn't even have social media. She's just recording just because she's crazy. So.
Actually, turns out
Oh,
the
she does?
Crazy Mask Lady is, like I said at the beginning of the segment,
A video journalist?
she's a contributor to the Huffington Post.
Oh, God.
Which is why she has 70,000 Twitter followers.
Oh.
So not only is this story a great demonstration of the mental illness that's created, the moral superiority, and the ability for these people to enforce these imaginary rules and laws on people, but this is a great example of what Robert was saying at the beginning. These people use social media as a weapon, because this lady, what did she do? She walked up to that guy that was just drinking coffee, recorded the video, and what was she trying to do? She was trying to make
antagonize it.
She was trying to make that George Floyd moment.
She was.
Trying to get the Grammy or the whatever, the Oscar.
The Emmy.
The Oscar for the viral clip.
Yeah.
She's trying to make content that she can share on social media and demonize the guy. People who follow her are leftists. They don't have no life. They're going to look up who the guy is. They're going to try to find out where his businesses are.
Yeah, dox
They're going to
him.
try to attack his businesses. They're going to leave bad reviews on Yelp. They're going to try and destroy this guy just because he's not wearing a mask.
Yeah, all because he takes his mask off to drink coffee.
God forbid that he actually fight back a little bit, because then it makes them feel even more righteously indignated to go and act in that way.
This is sad. Like, it's a sad time when an orange-haired, like, fat Lilu is enforcing multi-pass on people. Like, that's what that lady's hair reminded me is Lilu from The Fifth Element, but just really, like, terribly done.
Lilu 80 years later.
Yeah, Lilu, that washed up Lilu that that didn't take care of herself, and
you can hear the vitriol in her tone. No, you can hear the hatred in her voice.
You really can.
She hates her entire existence.
She hates existence in period.
She wants to swing some kind of hammer of authority on somebody else in any manner she can, and it just so happened that she got this random gift from the gods of this moral authority to enforce the mask law.
Yeah, just because she's
on the guy drinking coffee.
Because she's a contributor for, what is it, HuffPost?
First line in the whole video. She admitted it herself. I have 70,000 Twitter followers.
Yes, she did. That's the first thing she said.
First thing in the video.
She's like, if I'm going to tell all my followers about you, and you're going to comply or else.
Damn, this chick is unlucky. She fat and ginger. I feel sorry for how sad her life is.
I don't even know if she's a real ginger. That looked like a box ginger to me.
It was pretty bright red.
It was like if she is a real ginger, that's like the brightest ginger I've ever seen in my life.
Yes, exactly, M.A. She wanted the guy to get angry and call her a C word.
Probably.
Because then she could just share that part of the video where the guy calls her a C word, and none of the stuff before that where she approached him, harassed him. The same thing as Covington. She wanted the Covington video.
Yeah, she did.
She wanted to make her own Covington Kids video. We're like, oh, no, the Indian didn't approach the kid. The kid approached and surrounded the Indian.
Yeah, and the kid, he was violent towards the Indian guy, even though the kid
Dave
was just smiling. Good night, Dave.
Thanks for stopping by.
God bless you.
So brave.
So stunning and brave with her bright box orange freaking hair. So brave. Standing up for the little guys when there's nobody on this freaking train. There's literally empty seats after empty seats on this train. And this chick is just... She's on that moral high ground.
She's doing her best to social distance, okay? You can obviously tell.
Yeah, totally. She's just all about that social distancing.
So we've gone through several examples now from just, I think, the last day or 2 days, 48 hours. We've had these examples of these mentally ill people.
Arian says, Jeremy, show her face again so we could check her eyebrow color.
I don't even think I have it up anymore. I just closed the tab.
He closed it, but, you can always, go onto Twitter and find it and look for yourself, Arian, because we all know what the eyebrow color is what her real hair color is.
She has no eyebrows.
Oh, okay. Well, that makes it even more hard. That makes it more difficult to figure out if she's a real ginger or not.
None.
Yeah, none. Or they're hiding behind them glasses, but... Yeah, she probably does have, she shaves them off on purpose, probably. Or she's probably so neurotic that she just tweezes them all out.
Those bangs alone
Oh, I know.
Is such the biggest red flag. If I see a chick with those bangs, I'm immediately, it's like a poison dart frog. I'm like, oh.
Well, I mean, redhead is automatically a red flag.
I wouldn't go that far. But the bangs and the round glasses like that, yeah, those are definitely warning signs.
Yeah, that's true. I'm sorry, redheads. I love my gingers out there, but
yeah,
y'all definitely like put on that poison dart frog bright appearance with your hair color right away. So of course we're gonna approach with caution.
Discriminatory.
I know. I'm so mean.
See, the hair is uncontrollable. The haircut is completely her choice, and
I
that's
mean, the
why
hair
you know.
is controllable. You do have girls out here with green hair, so totally
Well, was
controllable.
it natural? I'm saying natural hair color.
Okay, Jeremy.
You're attacking everyone with naturally red hair.
That is true, but I don't think hers is naturally red though. It looks. Well, we don't know. It might. She might be one of them weirdos that has like that bright red.
Potentially.
Potentially.
We've got a video reaction review to do for you guys. This is going to be fun because this is the first one of these we've done. We found a PBS documentary called Growing Up Poor in America. And it's all about poor kids growing up in COVID America.
Okay.
And it's 110% relevant to everything that we're talking about here, which I mentioned at the beginning. And that's why we're going to take a look at this. We're going to go through it. Not the whole thing. Okay, we're not going to do an hour-long documentary.
Yeah, because the whole thing is like 50 minutes long.
We got the timestamps. We're going to jump around, show you specific things, and then get some commentary on that.
Yep. Yeah, and then if you want to watch the whole thing for
Here, it was
yourself,
orange.
if you want to watch the whole thing for yourself, it's on YouTube to watch.
Yes,
So.
septum ring also.
Yeah.
Septum ring is a huge red flag.
Septum ring is definitely a huge red flag.
Okay, let me get my timestamps up here, and then we'll jump into this. PBS, Growing Up Poor in America.
In America.
So we got two families that I want to showcase to you guys here. First one is... Oh, I'm already right on the timestamp. Okay, here we go. Let's jump right into it here.
My name is Sean, I'm 13, and I live in the Plains, Ohio. Coronavirus scares me. I know it's really dangerous, potentially deadly, probably. We're trying our best to not, have it come in here. We use disinfecting wipes to wipe down the knobs, the light switches, and a lot of things that we touch a lot. I don't like cleaning, but, it's a have-to-do thing, really.
Mom, do you want me to spray?
Sweet boy.
Sure, I'll let you take over after I spray this stuff in here.
At least he admits it.
You can
So right off the bat, we can tell they're definitely tuned into the COVID.
Yes, they are tuned in.
Okay.
spray the curtain.
But he's still a sweet boy.
Nobody's arguing against that.
Yeah.
I live in a trailer with my mom and my sister Dior. There's not enough room in the
You're a
house
cute
for
little
my brother
baby.
to stay, so he lives with my grandparents.
I'm sorry, I
And
have a
he comes
weakness
over
for
and
little
stays as much as he
babies.
can.
Especially that little. Look at her.
This is my.
I bet if I
first
look at
time living
chat,
in a trailer.
I'm going to see the obvious question here. And it'll pop up.
The walls, it's really thin, and so you can hear a lot of things. The reason we moved in a trailer is because it's something that she could afford.
So that's Sean. And, oh, here we go.
Here, you can hang this up.
Now we're going to learn a little bit about
I'm
the
a
mom.
single parent mother. I've
There it
always
is.
Worked.
Single parent mother.
Yeah, that's a big factor on why people are poor.
Let's go ahead and let the puzzle pieces start to fall into place here for you guys.
Yeah,
Oh, I think Stalking Horse asked the question already.
Did he? There it is.
Yep, there's the question.
Where's
Where is the father?
Yep, all -1 got it too. Where's the dad? Mm-hmm. Which prison is the dad in?
Oh, that's racist. Just kidding, Commander Oses.
Exactly. Yeah, you guys nailed it.
Yeah, y'all,
I
good.
found
A
out
plus
I
is
had
for
a kidney
everybody. A
disease
plus.
And was told by my doctor that they didn't want me to work.
She couldn't.
Okay, so she was always working until she got a disease, and her doctor told her
that she can't work.
That she can't work anymore. So listen to the rationale behind why.
I get a job because when she'd stand or something, her feet would get swollen.
Because of the fact that I couldn't keep working.
And the boy knows all that.
I do get benefits right now.
She can't stand.
Yeah, she can't stand because her feet get swollen.
Nobody's standing anymore.
Right? Everybody's doing remote.
This is COVID. Everyone, I haven't stood up all day.
Yeah.
I've just laid in bed. I rolled out onto my chair, and I haven't even used my feet one time. I went to work.
Yep.
I did everything I needed to do. You don't have to stand. So immediately, I'm kind of getting the essence of I can go on benefits.
The fact that the son knows this is kind of a little bit more disturbing.
Well, you'll find out why that is. You'll find out why
because
that is.
as a kid, kids shouldn't know why they're poor. Oh, I'm poor because my mom can't go to work. It's It's not something that kids should have to worry about. Like,
Well, the mom doesn't have anyone else to dump those issues onto.
that's true.
She's the man of the house now.
Yeah,
Or
well,
he's
no,
the man of the
he's
house.
the man of the
That's what I meant
house.
to say. He's the man of the house.
Right, poor thing. And
She
he's
can't
like,
telemarket? Exactly, yeah.
well, and he's probably like what?
I get welfare because it's easier than working. Yeah.
No, a lot of the time, yeah. And like he's probably like what, between like 8 and 11, I would say. And like to know that about your mom, like that's really sad.
Yeah. So let's we're gonna jump forward a little bit here to we mentioned that it's pretty clear that they're interested in the COVID stuff.
Oh, here we go. Governor Mark DeWine from Ohio. Yes, so all of these families, I think they're in Ohio, if I recall.
Yep.
So this is specific to Ohio.
We are certainly at war.
We're at
Any
war.
other way to describe this, but
the
to
way
say
he's-
that we are at war. In a time of war,
A time of war.
It's a total time of war.
Dr.
You
Atkins
have to make
signed
sacrifices.
a stay-at-home order for all Ohioans.
So they're just consuming this COVID stuff without even, asking any
Without
kind of
even
questions or
questioning
anything
anything.
like that. So this is the stereotypical. This is exactly who they want you to be when you come out of the factory, when you come off the end of the conveyor belt, when you're done with the processing.
Right.
That's exactly what they're looking to do. So everything so far, single mom, the kid's running the house because he's the only
He's the only boy.
male figure.
Yeah, he's the only male.
They're consuming the COVID propaganda, and they're on public benefits.
Yep.
This is a perfect example of the product that they're trying to churn out in America. This is what we manufacture in America.
Yep.
We don't
poor
manufacture
people.
products.
We manufacture poor
We
people.
manufacture people.
Yeah.
And this is a perfect model. Perfect model. Now let's go to the next family.
MA says they have a decent TV. I don't have a TV. That's what I question too. You'll see later on in the documentary. Like, we'll be asking these questions too. We're going to show you guys.
Man, look at Robert says he'll grow up completely unable to deal with male authority, and the first time a cop says, "Keep your hands where I can see them," he'll shove his hands in his pockets and get shot. Wait till the end of the string, buddy.
Don't give it up,
don't
you guys.
Go anywhere. It gets a lot better. This is family number 2. This is an all-girl family.
In Columbus. So again, in
I'm Kaya
Ohio.
and I am 14 years old. And I live with my sister and my mom. I would say we were a poor family because we really don't have a lot of money at all.
Oh.
I'm bored. We've been homeless basically for a year or something like that. We had
Those are
moved
pretty nice
into
houses.
an apartment.
Yeah.
She must have some
and
friends.
We couldn't afford it,
Yeah.
so we had to move out. So we've just been living with people. We're just in one room, and it's 3 of us.
Okay.
I'm homeless.
Three to a one room.
I'm just not your typical way.
Three in one room. Now we got a decent idea of what this family's, what their situation is. Let's fast forward. Oh, nope, it's already coming up.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's
Right,
coming
got the
up.
good timestamp here. Pay attention,
I have
folks.
no home. I can't provide a home for my children right now.
Pay attention.
We need a dentist appointment bad.
Okay, the mother says
She got
we
some
need a dentist
cavities.
appointment bad, and
But
that
they-
cuts directly to a shot of their pantry. I guess if you
got-
could call it that.
They got, let's see, they got Cheez-Its,
Lately,
Pop
they've been
Tarts.
Oh my God.
What are you doing?
I
For
told
some reason.
my
I think it's because
keyboard is dying.
Oh yeah, that's
I
right.
was
You
just-
said that at the beginning
I've
of the
been eating
stream.
a whole
Don't
lot of
die,
Okay.
keyboard.
Okay, rewind.
Be kind.
I have no
Rewind.
home. I can't provide a home for my children right
They need to make a dentist appointment.
now. We need a dentist
There's a
appointment
bag of
bad.
popcorn on the bed, and then their pantry has yogurt raisins, peanut-filled pretzels,
Pop Tarts.
oatmeal cream pies, Pop-Tarts, Cheez-Its, and Go-Go carbs. I think it literally says Go-Go carbs.
Wow. And you wonder why.
Remember, that's
they,
racism, folks.
And
Okay,
you wonder why they need a dentist.
that's what racism looks like right there.
Do they not have? Can they not afford toothbrushes?
She got some cavities.
lately they've been hurting all
wasn't-
the time. For some reason. I think it's because I've been eating a whole lot of candy.
At least you said it.
Well, she doesn't know any better.
Yeah, poor little thing.
So up until now, what percentage of the cavities would you say are due to racism, and what percentage of the cavities would you say are due to poor choices? If you were to make a pie chart.
I'd say all of them are due to racism, Jeremy.
The white people.
The white people put sugar in.
They put extra sugar in the Pop Tarts.
And they forced me to go out and buy it.
Yep.
Because they're colonizers.
Oh, right. Yep. They forced you by gunpoint to go buy the Pop Tarts.
Yep. You needed the Pop Tarts, and you need the sugar, and you don't need to brush your teeth either. That's all white people propaganda. So.
Okay, so let's continue on here for a few seconds because we're gonna get another key piece of
look
information.
at all that sugar, the sugary drinks.
Yep. We got the sugar drinks, the
potato chips,
tortilla chips.
Yeah. We're not financially stable.
We're homeless because we're not financially stable.
Look at, she's wearing a Puma t-shirt. That t-shirt's probably like $20-$30.
Good point. I didn't consider that.
Like these are that's brand name. Like that's not cheap. And but we're homeless because we're not financially stable. I'm sorry, homegirl, but like your mom just makes terrible financial decisions. That's why you're homeless. Like she's buying you all this brand name clothing instead of like getting you a stable place to live.
That's a good point. I didn't even catch on the first round through. Leave it to the woman to notice the fashion.
Well, yeah, I notice these things.
That's why we got you on.
I know.
She's just been struggling because she's a single parent.
Oh, again, the single
My
parent.
mom's been struggling because she's a single parent.
Wonder if a dad was in the picture, you'd be homeless or
my food deserts, Dirk.
My food desert.
You can buy cheap vegetables at the store. Yep.
Yeah, it's true.
EBT and welfare isn't restricted to certain foods. Yep. Drugs and alcohol are a huge expense, as well as clothes and other shoes and cars.
Yeah. MA says that she loves me. I love you too, MA.
Harder than people think. Prior to losing her house, she just couldn't afford.
And there's an 18-year-old, and she doesn't have a job either. So I started working at 16. Okay, so now we got a good preview of these two families. Let's dig a little bit more into maybe figure out why they're homeless.
Yeah. Okay, be kind.
And
fast
the
forward.
Processing fees. I don't have another $185 for every place that I applied for.
So the mother's talking about how she can't apply to new places for housing, and it's expensive. So they need to choose, the one place that they want to live in.
Imagine a pivot with your foot still there, though. Not just turn. Where we find housing is important to me because Kaya has already expressed to me time and time again that she wants to stay in her school district. Her school district is a lot more expensive, and that kind of does make the search for housing harder.
They just admitted that they're staying homeless by choice.
Yeah, a little bit.
They want to go to a particular school district.
Well, I mean, I get wanting your kid to stay in a good school district and like staying with their friends and stuff.
It's just the school district that she wants to go to.
Well, but what if it's a good school district too?
Would you rather go to school or be homeless?
Damn it, Jeremy.
No, that's not even the right choice. Would you rather go to a slightly different school or be homeless? That's what I'm saying. If the problem is that you're homeless, that's probably should be your priority number one.
I agree, Jeremy.
Because if you don't have a stable home environment, you can't do homework, you can't study, you can't do all that stuff. You can't succeed in school anyway.
I know, Jeremy.
So to be homeless and go to a better school is actually more detrimental on a net negative than to have a home and go to a subpar school.
Yeah, they're. I know their logic is very flawed, Jeremy, and I agree.
I just wanted to point out that they're making it difficult for themselves by choice.
Robert says it's an argument for school vouchers. I agree. I believe in school
There you
vouchers.
go.
Like I wish that was it was more of a thing.
Exactly.
And then MA says $185 for an apartment application.
Yeah, right.
I
Where's
agree.
she at?
Then Athenian says, "What about me, Delaney? Love you, girl. Love you too."
I have to change schools because I used to not like going to school
girls.
because I
So
used
this
to
is
get
her
bullied
rationale.
a lot. So I used to beg my mom to stay home, and I don't think it would just be wise to go through that all again and messing up my education.
Okay, again, so they're poor, but they wear brand name clothes. They have iPhones and they have internet to be able to post TikToks of themselves.
That was the next thing I wanted to point out. Look at what they're doing here.
They're making TikTok videos.
Education should be
doing
your
TikTok
first
dancing videos.
So every time I call, she say she's gonna call me back.
That's the mom.
The mom participates, yeah.
She could be applying for jobs,
Yeah,
looking
you make
for
more money off
housing.
TikTok.
I don't know. It just made me
And they're
really
spending
sad
their
and,
time.
like self-conscious about myself. It can affect people more than it.
Spending their time making TikTok videos, which is a Chinese application, by the way.
Yes, it is.
So there's that social media kicking in again. Not only did they use that as a weapon to enforce their moral superiority, but it's also used to dumb the population down, make them less productive.
Hell yeah, that's what they want. So that way it makes it easier for them to invade us. Yeah,
Okay.
Dari says that they have iPhones. Yes. And,
Yep.
I mean, I have an iPhone too, but I pay for my iPhone, so I'm not relying on nobody to pay for my iPhone but me,
They got those Obama phones.
right? Or I don't know. I had a guy come to my door the other day offering me an Obama phone, but I had to say no. I was like, no, I'd rather pay for my phone, and he was like, but it's free.
Some kind of scam or something.
No, he's like, if you're on Medicaid or on food stamps, you get this for free. And I was just like, well, I'm not on Medicaid or food stamps. So, and he just looked at me, he's like, but it's free. And I was just like, sorry, man.
Sorry, dude, my IQ ain't that low.
I just pay for it. It's fine. It's fine. Like,
All right, we're going to start to get into the real nitty gritty here. Psychological stuff, the ideas, the big picture stuff we've been talking about. We're zooming in all the way into one individual family here and one individual case.
let's do it.
We're here for the free lunch.
My mom thinks of me as like a father figure too, because she don't really.
Are they really in the drive-through line for McDonald's for free food?
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Because they were giving out free food to the kids or something like that.
Oh my God.
But you missed the best. You missed the key line here. Let me rewind it just a few seconds.
But I'd much rather like communicate with them in person. You want cheeseburger or nuggets? Nuggets.
You got a Mustang.
I could have just pressed the
Well, I
back button to
usually
reverse
spend
10
time
seconds,
with my
but
brother and my sister Dior. I usually.
there we go. Listen.
We're here for the free lunch.
My mom thinks of me as like a father figure too, because she don't really have
My
one.
mom thinks of me as a father figure to the daughter.
the little man of this house.
No, you're not
He
a
takes
father
all that
figure,
role.
kid. You're her brother. Oh my God.
That's how these families go.
This poor boy.
That's how these families operate. The single mom doesn't have the man in this picture for whatever reason.
So they raise their sons to be the fathers.
So she has 3 kids with him. And then he's out of the picture. And then guess what? No father. So this kid is just like already destroyed.
And he doesn't even know what it means to be a man.
He has absolutely no idea what it means to be a masculine role model. And
He has
now
no idea because he doesn't have one at all.
He's forced into the position to be that role model.
No wonder he's
for-
going to McDonald's for free food.
Yeah.
Like, oh my God.
Help me feed her, get her diapers together, carry her, watch cartoons with her, play with her, those type of things that a father
Take
would
care
do,
of her.
That's what brothers are. Oh my God. Take care of her.
She's dumping all the responsibilities on the kid.
That poor kid.
Tell Sean that he is her brother father, and he likes that.
No, that's not okay.
That's her way of. Did you hear what she said? He does like the diapers and cleans up after her and stuff. That's the mom's job.
Yeah. It's mom and dad's, not brothers. Well, brother supposed to help.
Dad's supposed to be at work, first of all. No dad.
true.
And no dad in the picture.
That's true, Jeremy. You're right.
Mom is disgusting. Hey, John, you're right, but
And then Derek says,
stay on the
how
high
much are those retarded sweaters?
yeah, exactly. That's what I saw when I.
That's what I thought too when I saw those.
Those Savage.
Savage.
So Savage. That was probably like a $60 sweater.
Yep. And then his sweater is probably at least like $35, and that's the ugliest thing I've ever seen.
Yeah. So when you now all -1 has another great point. Everyone's dropping hot
takes.
Laser guided.
It's Hot Take
takes,
Tuesday,
and
you
they're all-
guys.
They're all hitting the bullseye too. He says, "No male archetypes, so he will always be ruled by women."
Yes. Egalitarianism at its finest.
Stay tuned. It's gonna get even worse. It's gonna get even worse. Remember, this is happening on a mass scale across America. Okay, this isn't just one family.
This is everywhere.
This is everywhere. Guys, 75 to 80% single parenthood in the black communities.
Yep.
This is the norm.
This is normal.
This is the vast majority of families are like this.
Yeah. This is sad. And May said it. She's like, this is so sad. And I agree.
It is incredibly sad. Now, listen to what this kid has to deal with. So he has these responsibilities thrust upon him.
Cute little baby.
Family is really important to me. My family was like my role model. Now that I'm older enough to be Tior's role model.
Son,
I
you're
mean, it's a lot
so
of
little
pressure
still.
on me, but I try to do my best.
He even says it's a lot of pressure on me.
Yeah. Oh my goodness, poor little baby.
No, listen. This is how we're destroying men in America.
If I feel sad or something, I have a counselor to talk to. I told my mom that I needed one because there aren't as much people that my skin color down here. I just keep building up stuff that I really want to talk about. So I
Counselor.
first had a counselor,
Yeah.
I'd say in 5th grade.
What I like about this location is if it ends up being rainy, we could probably then meet here
No.
if we need to.
Okay.
That guy
Jesse is
definitely looks like he's diddling kids.
my
Just
A
gonna
little
point that
bit.
out.
Since this
I mean,
virus
he's
and
wearing a
stuff
mask
hit,
out in the open, so
I've
he's
seen him
probably a
much, and
diddler.
And you got to think about the type of people. So this guy already, the poor kid already started talking about how, you know, there's not very many black people in the neighborhood. So he's got some kind of racial ideas in his head already.
Yep.
And you got to ask, where did those come from?
His black relatives.
Or his mom, or the counselor maybe?
Well, his mom
is his
is
counselor
white.
feeding him some stuff?
His counselor's probably feeding him it, but it's also whatever contact he does have with his black relatives on his dad's side are probably brainwashing him too.
Oh, yeah, good point. You also got to think about who are the type of people to become school counselors.
Yeah.
These are the social studies people, the gender studies people, the social workers, that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Overwhelmingly leftists.
Yeah. I agree.
Steve, the $5 super chat.
Steve with the $5.
That lady is the billboard for CPS.
A little bit, Steve. I agree. She definitely is not doing herself any favors by being on this program.
Okay, so this little kid has to deal with homelessness. He's in poverty. He has like no friends because he can't go to school. He has to be the father of his house, and he just admitted he has anger issues.
Huh. That's not a very good recipe for anything good.
Yeah, how well do you think, statistically speaking, this kid is going to turn out to be?
Well, the leftists love to talk about the school to prison pipeline, and I feel like this kid's kind of on it.
The pipeline totally started at school, not in the home.
Oh no, definitely not in the home.
All right, well, are you ready for the nuclear bomb?
Okay, let's hear it.
All right, here we go. It's about to take a nasty twist here, ladies and gentlemen.
Okay.
Remember, this is happening across America.
Protests are happening during a pandemic, so they're advising people to wear their masks.
Okay, y'all good?
Protests. We're going the George Floyd angle.
Yeah, we're gonna go to
George Floyd protests just started happening.
Sometimes. She's been more of a help than anyone else. My grandma doesn't have lots of money, but she can do what she can.
Why don't they live with grandma?
The three girls are going to their grandma, and they say she's more of a help than anyone else. Keep that in
in
mind.
the community. She actually gives back a lot. Through her work, I've watched her be an advocate for people who don't have voices.
Back in our days, they were fighting. People were dying just to get the right to vote. Back then, it was just the boys. But now we have to tell our daughters, if you get into a confrontation with the police, just, keep your hands up and don't get smart.
I was aware of racism and being black at a very young age. In
Brainwash.
3rd grade, I remember bringing a
Listen.
baby alive doll to school for show and tell. And the baby doll was Caucasian, and I was a little black, little African-American kid. And everyone was asking me, like, why is your doll a different color than you? Like, you're not Caucasian. Like, you need a African-American doll. And that's, like, when I became aware of the difference in skin tones and how people could treat you.
So she had that experience, which isn't. It's not a bad. It's not like a racist encounter or anything.
No.
Someone just brought up the fact that she had a white doll, and she's black.
Yeah.
It's not like they harassed her.
Yeah.
She just brought
Not like
this
they
up.
called her any racial slurs.
She just brought this up as the way to demonstrate that that's when she became aware of the differences in racial. Now, what do you think happened when she told that same story to activist grandma?
Oh, activist grandma was just like, oh no.
Activist grandma activated and went full propaganda on her.
Definitely.
Watch what she tries to do and pay attention to how interested the girls actually are in what she's trying to say.
You know, you got to encourage your friends and your older friends to vote. Kalia, you got to vote. You're 18.
They're just like, yeah, whatever.
You're going to vote. You registered? We can get you started on that right now. I get phone calls now all the time from friends who are asking how do they activate white lives.
How do they activate white lives?
Or be effective in awareness of what's happening. I think that this grew different because of, you know, just being on lockdown, being told what to do. I think y'all kind of experienced that Black life, you know, that we do every day. That the knee on the neck is also the pandemic locking down the whole America. You know,
She's saying that when the country is locked down, that's everybody's chance to experience what it's like to be Black.
Wow.
With the knee on the neck. And she references the knee on the neck from the George Floyd thing directly.
Wow.
So you know that grandma is pumping these kids. She just signed them to register to vote. You know she's pumping them full of propaganda.
As Athenian said, that's not racist at all. Not racist
What's
at
not
all.
racist?
Probably her saying that the lockdowns is the equivalent to being Black.
You know what I'm saying,
The knee on the neck and all that garbage.
We can't breathe. We're done. So she's referencing again that the lockdown is basically like Americans a chance to experience that they can't breathe because Black people have been dealing with it the whole time.
Yeah.
you're a registered voter. The high five, the power one, you're now the part of the team.
Look, she doesn't care at all.
Yeah, reminds me of my ex when I would try to talk to her about going out and voting. She would just be like, it's not that big a deal.
What you're seeing is the conversion of a normal young woman into a monolith statue. She's just being pumped. She's getting on she just hopped on the conveyor belt in the factory.
Yep.
The old grandma, she already got processed. She's out the end. She's perfectly, you know, she's duplicating herself like a nanorobot, turning this little girl into a programmed machine just to repeat the same opinions and vote for the people that I do.
Yeah, vote for
Democrats.
Vote for Democrats because the Democrats love Black people, even though the Democrats are the ones that are funded by Planned Parenthood, which kills millions of Black babies every year.
We don't want to talk about that.
We don't want to talk about that.
You are going to be a law changer. You get to vote for the President of the United States. You can keep that favorite person.
Yeah, they get to vote for Joe Biden, who locked up Black people.
She couldn't care less.
Yeah, she could give
the
two
younger
shits.
generation are part of.
Maybe this is good advocacy for why we should raise the voting age to 21.
Generation is a generation.
Yeah,
of change,
I agree with that.
And they have more answers than they think.
Because 18, you don't give a shit. You really don't.
It gets better.
Oh, better than this.
So yeah, what you're seeing is the pipeline for Democrats, for the welfare state, for single motherhood. These girls are going to grow up to not like men, not like marriage because of the examples that they've been not believe in family because of the examples they've been given from their mom who doesn't have a mom and grandma. Where's grandpa? Where's he go? So they're not gonna like family. They're gonna vote Democrat the whole time. They're gonna be on welfare programs the entire time. This is what's happening across America.
Oh, and Athenian clarified. She says I was talking about the doll example because it was dumb and not racist at all.
Oh,
okay.
Yeah,
definitely not racist.
Right.
You know.
I didn't think it was either. It was like, just a harmless. Hey, your doll's white or whatever.
Hey, harmless, your doll's white,
All
but
right.
and you're Black.
Let's jump back to the poor little Sean, who I got to tell you,
Little Sean. Oh, it is little Sean.
I feel so bad for this kid.
I know. I cried for this kid a little bit.
This is the worst I have ever seen.
This is my first year ever doing stuff like this, so
oh god.
I just think
Yep,
I should
we
get
got all the way
the
here, folks.
experience I can.
This is a documentary about poverty in
All this
America.
stuff. We shouldn't
Going
have
to
riot or
BLM
protest
riots.
just for them to hear us. Your color doesn't define anything. Well, it shouldn't.
See? She's
many
good.
layers.
She already knows the truth. Your color doesn't define anything. She's at the MLK level already as a young
She's
girl.
smart. Yeah.
But when she
Because
goes to that stuff and she talks to activist grandma, she's gonna get brainwashed. And if she goes to college, oh my God, she's gonna be so far gone.
Yeah, she's
They're
on that pipeline too.
they're torturing and twisting these young, innocent children into becoming drones for their monolith.
Years. It's easier to give up. It's harder to fight and win.
Don't shoot! Don't shoot!
Oh my God.
Hands up, don't shoot was a lie.
Yeah, it was a
And
I think
yet-
that
lie.
them having an education, going to college,
this is
just being
important.
able to live the life that statistically they say we'll fail at, so yeah.
She's fighting for the right to go to college and have a good life. Statistically, is what they say that we'll fail at. She admitted right there, tacitly admitted, that all these people who are repeating these statistics and saying that black people can't do these things, and they repeat it to themselves how the system is holding them back.
Oh, of course.
They're the ones crushing themselves in.
Oh yeah.
Nobody else externally is pushing you back, but when you're in an echo chamber where you just bounce the idea that you're oppressed off of the walls into infinity, guess what happens? This is the end product right here. When everyone around you says that the system is racist and says that they're trying to keep you down and that everyone's going to try and stomp you at every single step of the way, you discourage and yourself. Now she believes on the inside that she said herself, statistically, we're not going to be successful.
Okay.
Because that's what she's been heard and that's what she's been sold.
Tell that to Oprah
This
Winfrey, Tyler
affects
Perry.
every dynamic of where we go in life because of the color of our skin. It's always been an issue.
See?
It's not an issue. It's your mother effing attitude, sister.
I think it does make it harder to get out of poverty. I actually am worried about the future because I just want us to be good and don't have to worry about
Sean's coming up.
how we're going to get the next thing or how we're going to get food. I just want us to be all right.
I have hope, though. I have hope that this is where the struggle stops for my family. Because I'm a female, maybe I don't feel as scared or threatened, but I think the males have it way, way, way harder
Yes, they do.
than black females.
It's true. But and then
Yes,
I
they
see
do.
Emma, you're right. Statistically they do fail, but it's the oppression narrative that they're imposing upon themselves. That the reason for those statistics aren't because you're not making the right choices. It's because the system is holding you down.
Yeah.
That's what they think is reality.
And that's what I disagree with. I don't think it's the system. I think the system might have a part to play in it, but I think it's mostly your attitude about it.
It's like 90% the system. I'm sorry, 90% choices.
Yeah, it's 90%
These- you
choices or
can
attitude or mindset.
You can see it in these two girls. If they didn't have any outside interference to corrupt their mind and implant the mind virus, they would grow up to be successful.
So would you say, like, if they weren't born poor, they would be successful?
No, I'm saying being poor is the least
factorable thing?
It's not a big factor. Yeah,
No,
they can climb up.
I agree. That's why I asked the question, but I wanted to see your response.
Yeah, and the biggest factor is the people that they're hanging around with, the activist grandma, the people telling them all the lies.
Yep, the children of the lie.
And here comes
Little
Sean.
Sean,
What about
the
that?
only
That's awesome.
the only boy of this
I
whole
like that one
docuseries.
right there. I'm gonna do that.
I think being black could affect my opportunities in the future. Like, if I want to get a job as a white person that don't like black people, they just would turn me down.
What?
Where
is he
you
getting
think
fed
that he
that?
got that information from? He said it might be difficult for me to get a job in the future because as a black person, if a white person don't want the black person, they'll just turn me down. Who do you think told him that?
His mom.
His mom.
I think so.
His mom, or maybe if we're being conservative, the counselor.
Yeah, the counselor, or if he has any
social media. If he's on social media.
If he's on social media, or if he has contact with like his black family members, they're probably brainwashing him with that too.
What we're trying to say is that he obviously has no real world job experience. He hasn't had the opportunity to learn for himself.
He's only like 10.
Yeah, he's like 13 or something like that.
Yeah, he's a child.
And he's already having these ideas implanted in his head.
That he can't, because he's a black man, he can't succeed.
Like I said, like the last lady, the black lady who said, "Oh, we're gonna fail." That's what they say. We're all gonna fail. Same thing. This kid hasn't even gotten into the real world yet.
God bless him.
He's smashed with all these responsibilities because of the irresponsible mom and the single parenthood. and now he's got these racist ideas implanted in his head.
So yeah, I think it could affect my opportunities in the future.
That's an absolute lie. That's completely inverse, by the way. If this kid knew reality, he would know that being black gives you a 2-to-1 advantage over any white person getting into a job, because they want to hire the minorities.
They do.
Over the white people.
They do. They want to give them chances.
If you have the same exact resume, a white person and a black person, the black guy's getting hired every single time in any corporate America,
well, especially
any
since
large organization.
Especially for him, because he has the name Sean. He
Yeah,
has a normal name.
Yeah, he doesn't have like Daquan or something.
He doesn't
like that.
have like, you know, Shanae or Daquante or anything weird.
Yeah.
It's just Sean.
Even then these days, because there were studies that showed that people with those kinds of names were less likely to get hired, but they're from like 2002.
Yeah. Now,
these days,
now they are like,
they would probably
they see
prefer,
they see a Daquante and they're like, oh, let's hire this guy.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They'd probably be 3-to-1 over the white people with that kind of a name.
I know it's like totally JLP to say that, but he's kind of right about it.
So now he's making Black Lives Matter signs with his mom.
Experience what it's like tomorrow when people come together. And when you stand up for what you believe in, I don't want you to be afraid to do that.
Mom,
again, this kid.
18,
she's a Nike hat on. That's like a $35 hat. But they're poor.
When I first moved to that area, my first feelings was, oh my gosh, there's black people. Roll up your windows. I was scared because I was never exposed to that culture. And my father always made it something for me to fear. I ended up meeting Edward and Sean's dad and learned it was okay to love somebody that wasn't of my skin color. It just made me feel like what my father taught me was ignorant, disgusting, and stupid. I'm just glad that I didn't follow in his footsteps.
Oh.
Boom! That's the nuclear bomb right there.
So
I'm glad that I forsake the only masculine influence that I had in my entire life. And look at what the chain reactions of that have been.
Now you have 2 boys that are being raised without men in their lives and in poverty.
They're going to be statistically, they're going to be
in
suicidal
prison.
criminals,
They're
drug
probably
abusing.
they're probably going to be in prison by the time they're like 25.
And she explicitly stated right there that her father, if she denounced her own father like that, what kind of stuff do you think she's pumping into these kids' heads about guys and men and fathers? Yeah. And not to mention what she would probably say about their father. Like, where's he? What kind of trash does she talk about him all day?
Oh, she probably talks all kinds of crap about him. Even though, how much you want to bet the kid's dad? Steve. How much you want to bet the kid's dad like actually does try to make an effort to be with his kids, but she's just like, no.
Maybe.
You know, we don't know the whole story, but from what I've noticed about a lot of women who are single mothers, they want to hold on to that single mother title so badly and not accept any help from the fathers, even though the fathers want to be a part of their kids' lives.
Only money.
All they want is money.
Just the child support.
They don't want, they just want the child support. They just want the check, but the dads are like, no, I want to give you the check, plus I want to spend time with my kids. And how much you want to bet? She's like, no, like you're not good enough for them. And that's not,
probably.
Like, that's so sad. Oh, poor Sean. Like,
Sean,
I love this little boy.
Edward or Dior.
And that little girl, she's cute.
Their dad isn't
such a girl.
an active part in their life.
Their dad isn't an active part in their life.
Years,
oh, yeah?
But ended up separating.
I doubt that.
She was with him for 11 years.
I highly doubt that
You think dad would let him go to this?
No. Well, unless dad is a total idiot.
That's why you need a dad.
This is why you need dads.
So you don't end up here.
So you don't end up here, exactly. I mean, this is just, oh my God.
It's hard to watch.
It is.
It is actually.
I started watching it earlier, but I didn't make it to this half. So
there you go, folks. There's the pipeline.
Yeah.
The single motherhood BLM pipeline.
Well,
the kid has no idea why he's there, what he's talking about, what the sign is about. He doesn't know anything.
Derek says Black fathers matter. I agree.
Exactly.
100%. Black fathers matter. Just like white fathers matter, Mexican fathers matter. They all matter. Fathers matter, period.
I went to the Black Lives Matter protests in Sacramento. You guys can see the video. It's up on the channel.
Yep.
With a sign that said, Black families matter.
Oh.
I got attacked and harassed, and I had the sign stolen from me.
Wow.
Yeah.
All
That's how
because
much-
you think black families matter.
Because I think black families matter.
And yeah, that's
And
how racist is that?
That black people are more than political tools. That's racism.
Yeah, that's total racism. Like, you think black people are just individuals that have their own, you know, their own thoughts and their own ideas about everything. You going to express that as racist, so you deserve to have your stuff
Racist
stolen.
white supremacy.
Well, it's just because you're white, Jeremy. Hate to say it. Like, how sad is that?
My boys proved that I broke the chains.
Oh my God. She literally like had kids with the black dude just to
Did you hear that?
just for a political statement.
My boys proved that I broke the chains.
Wow.
Scary world for them to live in.
Isn't
right
that
now
pretty
because
racist?
That racism does exist. I want them to know that they can stick up for themselves. When I was their age, I wouldn't even be allowed at a place like this. It was a very, very different world that I live in today.
Wait for it.
I can't breathe. I can feel why people are sad, especially when they said, I can't breathe. To think that that's the last words that he said before he died. How cruel that is. It makes me feel good that I've broken that cycle.
There it is.
Makes me feel good that I've broken the cycle. What cycle?
You are the epitome of the cycle.
You are the
lady.
epitome of this cycle. Exactly.
You are perpetuating the cycle stronger than anybody else on the entire planet. You are the model of the cycle. You aren't breaking any chains. You're reinforcing those chains.
she
You're
really
tempering
is.
them in the heat.
This chick's over here like, I'm not racist. Look, I have children with the black guy. I'm not racist.
Yeah.
Like, that is like, you literally had children with a black dude just to prove that you're not racist. To me, that just shows how racist you really are.
And those 3 kids are going to grow up with terrible lives because they have no father.
Yeah. Well, it's like if you had 3 children with a black dude and the black dude was like in the kid's life and you guys got married and did it the right way, that's like one one political statement that's positive. But the way that you went about your political statement is like, oh, I had kids with a black dude and, you know, he didn't stick around and, you know, my kids are going to have a terrible freaking life and be poor and be single mother household. And we're just, yeah, but I broke the cycle. I broke it. I did it.
Yep. 3 kids to a single mother in poverty totally smashed the cycle.
Yeah, totally smashed the cycle. And
Exactly. That's exactly what I was about to say, May. Did you see how they changed the narrative in this documentary? This is a PBS documentary, okay? It's about poverty and the effects of like COVID on, you know, the kids who are going to school and what that's like while you're in poverty. It all shifted to this political activism stuff, which is the whole entire point. Nothing about being in poverty is your own fault.
Yeah.
Oh, I know you can't afford a house and you have 3 kids and all this. You can't afford anything at all. None of that is your
It's
fault.
not your
Don't
fault.
examine your life at all.
Yeah.
Just look over here. Look at the masks and look at George Floyd and look at the police and look at the racism and all that.
Yeah, don't look at like the fact that your kids have name brand clothes and iPhones and tablets and nice TVs and cable and internet and, you know, a decent place to live. Yeah, it's not a nice big house, but you're poor and you can't afford food.
The awful food choices.
Yeah.
The awful budgetary choices. Like you said, they're buying the clothes. They're wasting their time trying to find an expensive home in the area just because she doesn't want to go through the experience of going through a new school again. Like, toughen up.
Yeah.
I went to like 8 different schools between 1st grade and 12th grade. So,
Oh, you poor thing.
oh, it wasn't easy, but it made me stronger.
Made you stronger, yeah.
You got to deal with that kind of stuff. And they're sacrificing that, foregoing that to remain homeless by choice.
Yeah.
They're going to grow up to be fat because they don't have any nutritional substance.
Well, and they're not exercising. All they're doing is dancing in front of their phones, doing
They're
TikTok
doing the TikTok,
videos.
so they're going to grow up to be the fat person who complains about racism being the reason that they died from
They're gonna be
COVID in the hospital.
They're going to be the next fat bitch doing yoga poses on Cosmopolitan in 20 years.
And just blame white people the whole
and then
way.
blame white people.
Nowhere in any of that entire equation during the documentary was there any intervention, negative intervention from a white person at all.
No.
And I know what the leftists will say. The leftists say, "Well, it's a systemic problem. It's systemic racism."
Well, you do realize that there's way more poor white people than there are poor black people.
We don't want
right?
to talk about that.
There's a lot more poor white people. Derek says, read Thomas Sowell. I agree. Thomas Sowell is the OG. I think all black people should read Thomas Sowell. Like,
absolutely.
But they don't want to because in their minds he's a coon or he's a sellout or
Uncle
whatever.
Tom.
Uncle Tom, even though Uncle Tom was a hero, so I don't think of Uncle Tom as a bad thing.
Thomas
personally.
Sowell was a genius.
Thomas Sowell is
He's
a
not
genius.
dead.
He's not dead. He's
Is.
damn near there, but because he is
Don't
kind of
say
old.
that. Don't say that.
I know when he dies, we're all gonna cry. All of us in the conservative movement are gonna
CNN,
go.
MSNBC has trained them well. Exactly, Dari.
Yeah,
this is it, folks. This is remember 75 to 80% of black families is this right here.
Yep.
And there's no intervention from white people at any step of the way there. Actually, the only intervention from white people is the white people are the ones giving them the welfare money.
Yeah.
They're giving them the money. That's generally white people money because white people are
more
the
successful.
net income, net taxpayers in the country, as far as I'm aware. Maybe Asians are a little higher, but that's our money that we're giving to them to help them out, and they're blaming us in return. It's like, wow, oh, gee, thanks.
Robert says, quote, "You are perfect the way you are." And he says, "No, you're a mess. Get your act together. Stop making stupid decisions. Stop doing things which make you weaker and poorer." Agreed, Robert. Stop doing things that make you weak and stop doing things that make you poorer. Stop spending all your money on alcohol and cigarettes and name brand clothes for your kids that they're gonna grow out of them. Like, this is what gets me about when people buy their kids like Jordans.
There was another documentary just like this about something similar about poverty, and they featured a black family, single black mom again.
And she's probably like, all her kids are wearing like Adidas and
her-
Jordans
her
and stuff.
She has like a 14-year-old kid who wants to be, guess what?
A basketball store?
Football star.
Oh, okay.
And he wants her mom to buy her
Jordans. Oh, of course. And the
How
mom
did
probably finds $300 to spend on a pair of Jordans, but can't find a way to pay
Now,
rent.
how did you know that he wanted to be a sports star and he wanted to buy Jordans?
Well, I hate to be racist, but a lot of black kids, that's what their most of their aspirations
Because that's
to be.
black culture.
That is black culture, is to be a basketball star or football star. And
Or
to
rap
have-
star.
Or a rap star.
Those are the only two viable career paths if
Yeah,
you're black.
3, yeah.
Yeah. And a sports star or rap star.
Yeah.
That's it. Because that's their culture.
They can't be politicians or police officers. Like
Accountants.
Business. Be a business owner. Like, why not be a business owner?
Mm-hmm.
Have an idea and market it and sell it to the people. No. That's Uncle Tom. You're Uncle Tom if you do that.
Yeah, you're white.
You're totally white if you do that.
Yeah.
You need to be a sports star and sell your soul in order to sell Nikes that were created and built in factories that are run by slave labor.
We don't want to talk about that.
We don't want to talk about that. We'll get banned. I mean, we're already getting shadow banned on YouTube.
Not
so.
for us. Just nobody wants to talk about the fact that's made by slave labor. But the point that we're making here, the big picture, is that racism. If you make a pie chart of all the causes that these people are poor, racism would be a tiny little, barely visible sliver.
Yep.
Most of it, like 50-60% of it, would be
Poor decision making.
poor decisions.
Mhm.
And then guess what the other half of it would be? The exact reason you were able to answer the question of why they want Jordans and want to be sports stars. Culture. Their
Yeah.
culture is garbage.
Mhm.
No racism is involved.
No, it's not. It's
all
internal
about
racism,
culture.
honestly.
Culture and choices.
Mhm.
Okay, that's why they are where they are. And you know what the good news is about that? They have 100% of the power and the ability to change all of that.
They do, but they
So
don't want to.
no racism is holding them back.
It's not. Yeah. There's no like oogie boogie white man telling them like, no, you can't change your culture. There's nothing like that. It's literally them. They're stopping themselves from progressing.
They're stopping themselves. They said it multiple times. They said, oh, where's the kid getting the idea that he's going to be oppressed and he's not going to get a job? His own mom or somebody else who's
yeah,
black
his
told him
mother.
that.
Yeah.
He didn't go through the experience of trying to get a job and then get denied over a white guy.
13. applying. He hasn't even like started applying for jobs
Somebody
yet.
told him that. Where did the black lady get here that statistically she's not going to be successful in any aspect in life? All the black people around her.
All of the black media outlets that she consumes. Oh my God.
Yep, that's it, folks. That's the pipeline, and I had to show you that because we talk about the whole thing all the time, and you've seen everything from the poor choices, the culture, the Black Lives Matter influences, all represented right there. So I recommend going to watch the full thing.
Yeah.
There are some white families in there, by the way.
There is a white family
and
in
the white
there.
trash is just as bad.
We're not completely racist. There are white people in there.
Yeah, no, don't get me wrong. The white trash is even worse.
Yeah, the white trash is even worse. But
but there was actually fathers involved, so they would.
Because we are a diverse channel here, we wanted to showcase the black family first. Because we're not about segregation.
The white people weren't marching for Black Lives Matter, so it wasn't as complete of an arc.
Yeah.
Of a story, you know.
No, of course not. Because those racist white people aren't going to be marching for black lives, because their lives are suffering just as much as the black lives. I remember when I watched it, the white family were living in just as destitute as the black families.
Yeah. They were.
They really
just
were.
As bad.
It's just as bad. There's way more poor
And
white
it's
people.
Same exact reason. They have terrible choices and terrible culture.
Yep.
So
that redneck culture is not cute, yo.
it's all the poor people out there. You have the power to make better decisions and eventually become successful.
Exactly.
And actually, all the richest people that I know some wealthy people.
I do
They
too.
all started out poor.
Oh, I know. Yeah. A lot of the poor
It's almost like it's an advantage.
A lot of the wealthy people I know too started out as poor.
Because you have to overcome that adversity. And the process of doing that makes you an entrepreneur, an intelligent, creative, hardworking person.
Exactly.
So
diversity brings, not diversity. Adversity is what...
Adversity is our strength.
Adversity is a strength, and that's what I feel like breeds diversity more than just diversity in general. Because without adversity, there's really not a lot of diversity. Because not everybody's struggle is the same. That's where the diversity comes in.
You went so versity on me. I can't even keep
I
track of
know.
all the versities.
Super verse. Oh, goodness.
Well, I think that's race begets culture. Well, look at African culture. I'd take African culture over African American culture.
Just black culture. You don't even say African American, because most of them aren't even from Africa.
Well, yeah. I had to specify African Americans, though. Like
Just
American.
say black Americans.
Okay, that's fine.
I've talked to several black Americans, and they would prefer... Well, these are on the conservative leaning side. The liberals will be like African American, or they say person of color. I know, it's so
POC.
stupid. That's why I say black American if I'm talking about a freaking black American, because yeah, the black American culture is garbage. But why is it that like Africans, like straight off the boat from Africa, are more successful than black Americans who've been here for generations?
That would be my exact counter to MA's point, which was that race begets culture. It's only a small influence. The culture itself it's
trash.
Is more.
It's a trash heap.
It's more unique. It's more regional, and it's totally capable of being changed, which is the great news.
Yeah, they can totally change it. They just have to. They have to change their mindsets and how they raise their kids, and raise their kids with a different mindset instead of hating America.
So people are going to call us racist for pointing this stuff out, but really what we're doing is we're pointing out that they have the power to change their own circumstances, and they don't want them to know that.
Yeah.
They want them to be enslaved. They
We
want them
to know this.
I want them to know that
I want them to know.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
I want black people.
That's why I took a Black
successful.
Families Matter sign to the Black Lives Matter protest.
Exactly.
This is why we talk about this kind of stuff, because we want them to get
We
free
want
from
them
this modern slavery of the Democratic Party.
We want to free them from the shackles of their mind, because it's really what it is. It's the shackles of their mind.
There you go.
Their minds have been infiltrated by this plague of we are not good enough because of our skin color, and that's not it.
Don't fall for the mind virus, people. Keep watching the Weekly Narrative. That's what you need to do.
Of course. Share, subscribe.
Like, share, subscribe. Catch us here live every Tuesday and Saturday.
7 o'clock Pacific Standard Time-ish.
That's right. And jointhelocals.com, weeklynarrative.com to get redirected there if you want to join the After Hours private streams starting in a week and a half. That's going to be a great time.
That'll be fun. We talk about a lot of fun stuff on there.
Hope you guys enjoyed the stream. I thought it was a great time. Did you enjoy it?
Oh, I enjoyed the heck out of it.
Did you have a good time? Did you have fun?
Yeah. Did you have fun?
The JLP question.
The JLP, the ender of all of his interviews. Did you have fun?
Thanks, folks. We'll see you on Saturday.
Saturday.
Have a great week.
Let's do it.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Bye now.